Welcome back, everybody.
Yo, what is up, everybody? We're here with another episode of Tea Time with Dezz. Y'all already know what it is.
You're probably wondering, who is that sitting next to Desiree? But if you live on Long Island, you clearly know who it is.
You better know who this is.
It's like a local celebrity we have in the building.
Introduce yourself, brother.
I'm Kevin. I'm not a local celebrity.
You are a local
Kev
celebrity.
is a local celebrity.
No,
Come on, Kevin.
Not yet. We're gonna get there, but not right now. If anything, if you're listening to this and if you're watching this, I'm just like you. I'm another person.
He's here with us.
I love
We're
it.
just
I love
normal
it.
people.
So you run probably one of the most, I think, shocking and cool lines that Long Island has seen in a long time because of the way you do it.
Yeah.
So talk about what your company is. What is it? Plug it a little bit
sure.
for anybody who doesn't know. For those out there for some reason living
know
under
you
a
guys
rock.
know.
If you don't know,
Yeah,
I know you know who it is.
you're about to find out for the next 40
Today's the
minutes.
day.
So basically, I am running a brand right now. It's called Locals Only LI. Low lie is a new thing that people have been calling, which is I've never even thought of that before.
Low
I was
lie.
like, low lie is pretty cool.
Oh.
And it's basically encapsulating Long Island into a lifestyle brand without making it corny as hell.
Yeah.
Because what's my favorite?
Uh,
I love Long Island.
I mean, that's the thing too, is that I love Long Island too, and for a long time I felt like I was stuck here.
Yeah.
And I fought my way to tell myself I would never be stuck here. Like, I'm never gonna be stuck here. I'm never gonna stay on Long Island. I'm leaving.
Like
Everyone does that.
I'm gonna go to Hawaii, and I'm gonna go somewhere crazy, and then all of a sudden you come home, you're like, it's actually not that bad. It's not that bad.
As you get older too, you have this like newfound appreciation for this beautiful place.
Oh
man.
my God, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And this is the thing where, for Long Island, I mean, I want to make sure that we are not put into a box, that we are not cookie cuttered, and we are not stereotyped, because I hate going somewhere and someone's like, I know where you're from.
You're a Long Islander.
You're from Long Island. And I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Be a hater.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Be a hater.
And that's the thing. And you know what? I've realized that our new generation of person, our new encapsulation of our age, we're all like pretty much in the same, like we're in our 20s, right?
Yeah.
Right? I love being from here, but I do not want to make it where it's like cheesy and corny. I don't want it to be like, oh, you bought that at a gift shop.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't look like
We
the shit.
literally
Doesn't
were
look like
just
what you bought
talking
at the
about it.
Montauk, the Montauk
No,
Lighthouse.
and that's fine. Like,
Where 100 people wear the same sweatshirt.
yes,
Yeah.
and this is the thing, is that if you want to wear a Hamptons or a Montauk or a Fire, no hate on it. I love all those places.
Yeah, of
I've been
course.
to all those places. Yeah, everything. But if you want to just be like everybody else, you can. I don't mind. Go right ahead.
Unique.
But if you'd like to rep your home in a very unique way and have something
I
that's
love it.
like, if you go to California, someone's like, yo, what is that? My buddy right now is in Japan. Hi, Luca, if you're listening to this.
Hey, buddy.
What's
up, Luca?
Dude, I like worship Japan. I would love to go there just for the streetwear and the street culture.
Of
And he's like,
course.
yo,
It's the
I get
best.
stopped. People are like, that hoodie is amazing. But I almost dropped the phone when he told me that. I was like, they think it's amazing. I was like,
That's crazy.
But that's something that now, and like I said before, we're a lifestyle brand. We're a clothing brand for long. My job is to not sell you clothing.
Yeah.
My job is to cultivate culture. That's my job.
Hey, I love that.
That's what I'm saying. But
Cultivate
people
mind
don't
just
understand that. They
exploded.
think I'm just trying to make money off of you. Honestly, I'm not. And
It's
if
the haters.
If you
It's really
really
the
think that
haters.
it's all about money, you are
wrong.
very, very far.
It's an
wrong.
art, bro. It's an art. Look, like
wrong.
we, what Dezz and I do too, like with this podcast, what I do and Rob over there, what we do with our company CK, it's all we've been in the arts for the last 7 years, bro. And it's something that people also, it's that same sort of thing with fashion and with media and with arts that people look at.
Yeah.
And like they just don't get it. A lot of people think it's either a cash grab, they think it's a hobby, they think it's they don't view it as something.
You're
that
wasting your
is-
time.
Yeah, they just don't always view it. I feel like people don't view it as like something that could be life changing. Something as simple as a fashion brand, it affects clothing. We wear it every day. It
Bro.
affects everything. That is culture. That's what culture is made out of.
100% culture.
Yeah.
It's 100%. People are visual.
Yeah,
I'm a visual
exactly.
person. Don't ask me to do math. Can't do it. But
Easy.
we have calculators, people. So, we have the internet. I have all these things at my side that, that will help me where I have to, have these things be taken care of. But I'm a visual person, and I learned from a very young age and from a long time ago that that's where my gift and my strong suit was. So let me carry it over into this thing. And I realized that, I don't want to just be selling these pieces. I don't want to just do stuff.
Yeah.
I want to impact like people's like this is something that I take a lot of pride in right now that I've realized over the last week. How many people are going to wake up and open up a Christmas present with one of our products in it? That is.
Do you know how many people are going to do that?
But that's fucking nuts to me because we were never there.
I am waking up to something like
Yeah,
this.
you know what I'm saying? I was never.
I begged for it. I said, please.
That's what I'm saying. Now, that's I thought I wouldn't get to this point, but I never thought that I would finally be able to be like, yo, I made somebody's Christmas.
Yeah.
How crazy is
Crazy,
that?
man.
Like
Crazy.
you don't, it doesn't hit you until afterwards. And, that's the big thing too, is like with the culture. I mean, it's just important. And we have a very young base. Bro, if you ask an adult, they're like I'm talking like real adult, like we're talking older. They're like, oh, I think I've heard, or no, they have no idea.
Yeah.
High
school.
Ask anybody at 25, they're like, holy shit, I know
Mobile
exactly what that is.
Yeah,
Which is also a testament to the way we've run the brand and the way I've built this thing of like an organism. You know?
So I want you to talk about that because one of the cool things, I actually found out about Locals Only because of Dezz because she shared it so much. And like
be a
watching
hater.
her, no, nothing wrong with it. You're supporting local business, especially. So I was curious, especially as someone, who lives on Long Island, and I love the island. Although I rep the city pretty hard. I do a lot of work in the city. My blood's in Long Island.
But you're just like me because I worked in the city too.
Yeah.
I have my mom as a film producer who's been in the city for 30 something years.
There you go. So it's like the city,
it's-
but city has always been the backyard for me. And like at the end of the day, like my roots are here in the island.
Yeah, of course.
And like I've seen so many people, like really love Long Island, and as we get older, like fall in love with the idea of it. So when Dezz started sharing the page, I was like, "Yo, what is this? Like, this actually looks pretty
It
cool."
started with the sharing, then it was the every word out of my mouth was like, I need this.
So it became a thing in our
this.
friend group, especially during the quarantine. Every time you guys drop something, in our friend group, she would send a text, or one of our friends send
I'm
a
like,
text.
"Hey, they're dropping
New Locals
something
Only
tonight."
drop. Oh my goodness! And like it became a thing. I wasn't even following you guys at the time.
Yeah.
And like I viewed it. I was like, "Yo, this team, whoever is behind this project, they must have like, how did they come up with it?" So like, how did you come up with the way you sell things? And explain it for anybody who doesn't know.
creative. It's
Like,
the
how
best.
do you do your drops?
Sure.
How did you start, and why did you want to do social media? Why did you take that route instead of the
So,
traditional route?
Yeah. So this brand was started in college. It was started by me and my good friend, best friend actually, Ben Field. He and I hated each other when we first met. We met in a psychology class. I was like, "Who's this guy that keeps answering all these questions?" Because I just didn't want to answer, but I knew the answer. I knew the answer.
He was a Desiree in college. I'd be
was
there like this.
Yeah, I mean, but for the most part, I usually always talk, but for some reason, I just wasn't about
I was never
it.
talking to the teacher.
And I'll never forget this. My friend Frank was sitting next to me. This kid kept raising his hand in the back and just kept answering the questions. I'm like, "Frank, who is this guy?" This guy, his name's Ben. I'm like, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, we become friends because I'm like talking to this guy in the back after class and stuff. And then it gets even stranger when he hits me up and he's like, "Hey, do you know this girl?" And this girl hits me and say, "Hey, do you know this guy?" And I was like, "Whoa, does this just happen right now?" They both hit me up at the same time. It's kind of weird.
Ah, shit.
And it's because they swiped right on each other for Tinder at the time.
Yo,
I love Tinder.
so-
That's our plug.
I
Tinder.
mean,
There's the plug for you, Tinder.
You're welcome, Tinder. And like, I like kind of led them into a relationship, being like, "Yo, you're good for her." And he's from Vermont, and she was from Manhasset and Long Island. So I kind of can coach him through a Long Island girl, and then I can kind of tell,
which it's a
the
type.
Long-
It's a
yeah,
type.
no,
Long Island girls, the whole thing.
I have to tell the guy from Vermont, and then it just everything. I made it so it worked, and then in the same circle, he was dating someone, I was going after somebody, and then it just exploded into a million pieces when like me and this one girl like didn't work out, and that I couldn't even breathe, and then him and that girl broke up, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is
You were
going
describing Dezz and I's last few relationships.
That's
so-
what I'm saying.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm really fed up with this.
No, stop it. But my point to you, though, is that this very pivotal turning point in our lives exploded. And, people have their own ways of getting back at people. You go out, you get crazy drunk, you do this, you do that, you go find someone new.
Damn.
And at the time, I was given an opportunity for my grandmother passing away. She left me like literally the smallest amount of money you could ever imagine. It wasn't like Donald Trump, like a small loan of $1 million. It wasn't like that. It was like more along the lines of like, here's like something that like, this is all I had left. And me and my brother split it. I told my brother, I was like, bro, you have like credit card stuff. Like, you should probably pay
said,
that
you have
off.
that.
Yeah,
Right?
you go pay it off.
I was
You handle your shit.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
of
I'm an
course.
idiot, so I can figure something out. I was like, maybe I'll just start a business. And he was like, I can see that working. And now,
Here we are.
I have other things that I did when I was growing up to believe in myself. I want to be an entrepreneur. And the next thing you know, I went to Ben, and it's like a couple of months later, I was like, dude, I have this idea. And he was like, what's this idea? And I explained it to him, and he was like, that'll work. He just did that. It was just like one word, like, that'll work. And I was like, you think? And he's one of the smartest people I know. Ben is a very smart, like, Ben, if you're listening to this, dude, I know you're a genius.
Ben's a genius.
He's got
Shout
his
out
own
Ben.
way about things. He's got his own way. He's got his own feng shui. He calls us flatlanders. He's a mountain man. He's a Vermont guy. I know.
I love you.
Flatlanders?
By the way, real
That's my
quick side
favorite
note, Ben.
word.
I love Vermont. It's one of my favorite states. So
Flatlanders.
shout out Vermont.
Yeah.
I love Vermont. But
I love Flatlanders.
Yeah, but it's true.
That's us.
It's true.
We are
So
Flatlanders.
me and him started working on this idea, and it started germinating into this concept. And
Amazing.
he really helped me build a backbone for this business. Where like we should set up an email. Yeah, we should do that. I'm like, but I'm really worried about this photo. He's like, yeah, but like, what else is important? Customer service is important. Like, he did the things that you're supposed to do.
He didn't-
Meanwhile,
yeah.
I'm over here like big picture
It's
guy.
like,
I'm
yo,
like,
this isn't
what
gonna
if
look right.
we did a drone video? He's like, Kevin, that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about this finance thing or this model I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, okay, but seriously though, like, I think about the drone. He's like, okay. Well, eventually we did buy the drone. Just saying,
Love it.
I just
I
kept
love it.
chip-
I love
I
it.
just kept
He's chipping
chipping
at the
away. I'm
drone.
like, bro, we need the drone.
Should do the draw. I love it.
They
I
got the
love it.
drone.
So, I mean, and then that's where this crazy ride started from. And from the beginning, I told him, and I've told a million other people, I was like, I'm going to run this my way. It's going to be different, and it's going to be crazy, which is just describes who I am, a crazy, different individual. I mean, it's we're going to do it my way, and I'm going to do the way that things. And at the time, I was obsessed with Instagram because your Instagram was your social barometer.
It was.
Right? I mean, I don't know. As you get older, you kind of like just scoff at it. And I'm like, okay, what's your assets? You know what I'm saying? You ask questions like that, not how many followers do you have. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, doesn't really matter. But
But depends what you do too.
But that's what I'm
You know
saying,
I mean?
And
Yeah.
at the time in college, man, I was obsessed with it. I posted amazing content. I was on top of my
That
shit.
used to be me.
That was me.
That's still me. I love
was,
it.
and,
I love
I
Instagram.
came from a background, like I said before, my mother was in advertising and a film producer for 30 years. So I was
Yeah.
always around advertising. So I saw real shoots. I saw what it took. And then at the same time, I worked at a photography studio in the city I had an amazing mentor. This guy was like, you ever see The Devil Wears Prada?
Yeah.
Yes.
But as a dude. So that guy, was no joke. And
I would have been intimidated.
he was a serious guy, but he taught me that number one, you could be straight.
Yeah.
You could drive a Ferrari and love clothes and not be a finance dude. Never, in my mind, I was a Long Island guy. I always just wanted to be the Wolf of Wall Street. I just wanted to go to Wall Street. I wanted to sell people stuff. I wanted to sell them things that they didn't need because I wanted their money. It's
It's a lot of the mindset on
that's
Long
a
Island, for
mindset
sure.
where you get
That's a small town mindset too. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
bro, that's the dream, right? And then all of a sudden I met this individual who just was like, buddy,
That's
man,
crazy,
that's
man.
not
Not
you don't have to
don't
do
need it.
that. He's like, you know what I did last week? I went fishing in Costa Rica for marlin, and now this week I'm going to come back to my studio and have someone shoot photos of
This guy sounds amazing.
yeah,
Bro.
he was. But I'm saying this individual was just like very mind altering.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't just about being a finance guy anymore. There is this path you can take in the creative world. You just have to find your own way.
How to do it? Yeah.
So he let me work there for him, paid me like basically, peanuts, just cover my fucking transportation back
Your
and forth,
training
But it doesn't matter because
LIRR, baby.
this guy really, which by the way, I was doing the LIRR, what's it called, commute right out of high school, like that summer. So when I came back to school and these kids are complaining, I'm like, you guys have no idea what's coming. I'm like, the real world
I live
is
the real life this summer.
scary. I was like, you gotta get on the train at 5:33, and then all these people are on there, and they all look miserable, and then
everyone's
they
running to the
and
train,
then no
and
one
then it's
wants to
crazy.
talk to you because they're all mad, and you're just like, what do I do? Like
That's gonna be
bro,
me. That is gonna be
how
my
about-
real world experience, and I want to
yo,
kill myself.
I used to take train all the time when I went to school. I went to school in the city for a year. I did an acting conservatory, and I took the train every day. Bro, that shit is the worst, man.
Dude,
it is a nightmare.
It's
and if you're not from Long Island, you don't know what it's like to be at Penn Station when the train is about to get ready to go at rush hour.
Oh, yeah.
That peak time. You know what it's like.
I know
bro.
what it's like. I mean,
man.
that's why
It's crazy.
It's funny to me where it's people don't get that. But this is my point to you. You understand that because you're a Long Islander.
Exactly.
You understand those things because you do it. That's why when we shot photos in Penn Station this one time, people were like, "Oh my God, that's genius." I'm like, "Is it though?" It's just kind of common sense because we go to Penn Station all the time.
We understand it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like that's where we'll get into that part of where the marketing stuff comes into play. But yeah, I mean, it germinated from these experiences I had in the past to then all of a sudden we're building up to being like, I love my marketing classes, but I never took them seriously because number one, I felt like they were a joke, or number two, I just felt like I was wasting my time, right? And then I had one professor who pulled me aside and was like, you have very real potential to be super successful if you actually gave a fuck. And I was like, you think so? He's like, yes. He's like, you just need to try. I was like, but the whole trying thing, though, he's like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. He's like, you don't get it.
It takes that one person though
But he was
to kind of like,
but
you know,
he was
push
also an important factor to, teachers, professors, mentors, these people that just give you little pieces along the way.
little nuggets,
that
man.
that
Nuggets of
push you.
information. That's it.
So yeah, I mean, and then it's just germinated, and now it's funny to whereas we're at this point now where we're making like really cool clothing and stuff. What people don't know, what they're gonna find on this podcast is like, you don't know that for the first like 2 years I was shipping hats out of a frat house. You didn't know that.
What?
I
That's
love
crazy.
frat
Nobody knows
houses.
that.
So how long has Locals only been around? How
Only
long have you
4
been doing it?
years.
4 years, okay.
But it's been a slow burn.
When did you feel like it started taking off? Like
Oh,
what?
I'd say when we finally brought out clothing, which took 3 years. And
Gotcha.
people are like,
So about 2019.
dude,
time,
people thought I was crazy that I was only selling hats, stickers, and then eventually I did the flags. And I'm like, you don't understand. I'm like, clothing is a very, very specific thing. I'm like, I'm ready when I tell you I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not making a t-shirt because you think it's the right idea.
Yeah, it's tough to do.
And that's the
stuff.
thing too, that if anybody listening to this and you're in business, everybody's got opinions, okay? Everybody's got a damn opinion.
Trust me, I know. Des
can-
got a lot of
you can-
opinions.
You make me seem like I'm such a hater.
Hey, I got a lot of opinions too, so it's okay.
But the thing is that you should always listen to opinions, but you should just listen.
I listen.
Don't act. Do what you think is right. For the most part, everything's been on my gut. I mean, colors, design. I'm like, that looks good. I think that looks good. And then there's times where super important piece of the branding. Locals only almost didn't exist because I had a research group in college. This was awesome. A professor that loved me was another person who was like, Kevin, man, if you just really tried for once, you'd be great. And I was just like, I will for you, bro. So I did for his class. I kind of actually gave some effort. I love presentations. Those are my favorite thing to do.
They're the best. They really are the best.
Yeah, I gave presentations on peanut butter and I got amazing
bro,
grades.
me
They're
too.
like,
I love
you
it.
know what I'm saying? So this guy was like, hey, I have a research group for you. You want to use it for your new business that you just opened? And now I was like, yeah. I'm like, that'd be sick. I'm like, that costs money in the real world.
Of course, yeah.
So, and these kids got a chance to have a real experience that would, and now has, that little project that they did. Sarah, I'm talking to you, Sarah, if you're listening. That project they did trickled now into this.
That's
So-
crazy.
So
Thank you, Sarah,
But they,
for your time.
yeah. So Sarah knows. She knows exactly who I'm talking to, and Chris Peterman, you know exactly who I'm talking to. I'm not even going to say why. But long story short,
That's crazy.
they did some research for me and asked like friends and family and random people. People did not like Locals Only on a hat. They were like, nah, it's cheesy. Bro, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, you think you're the believer of all your own opinions. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? And they're like, they don't want it on a hat. I'm like, what's the whole purpose of the company?
No.
And so this is where it gets really crazy with the information. But before this is crazy. I like found an embroiderer in the city. I did everything in the city at first because that's where my stomping ground. Bro, I didn't really hang out on Long Island. Like I was kind of here. I was like here. I knew places, but I wasn't like going into these towns and stuff. And I found this embroiderer. And while I was at the embroiderer, I made him make one hat without locals only. Because I was just like, oh, let me see what it looks like. So we came back. I made this washed gray hat with a white outline and a black fill. I was like, dude, that's a damn cool hat. And this was like when dad hats were popping. This was like when everybody had a dad hat. Like before, everybody had one. It was popping off. I feel like every girl had a hat on. Even guys had a hat on, backwards, forwards, this whole thing. And I was like, yo, a hat makes the most sense to me. Let's go with a hat. And we brought the lineup of all these hats. Now, in my mind, I'm like, dude, this other one's going to kill it. This one's color's so cool. And I'm looking at like the gray one. I'm like, it's probably my favorite one, but it's... The research comes back of the 150 people hated every other fucking color. It was just like, no. I'm like, bro, what am I going to do? I did camo, I did red, I did white. They just did not like the locals only on the front of it. They see the gray, love it. I was like, what?
Wow, changed everything for you there.
I was like, wait, I don't understand. And they're just like, that gray one is amazing. Where can I buy that? I was like, oh. So this is the thing, though. This is the thing that a lot of people don't understand about brands. You could start a clothing brand. Anybody can do it, okay? But when you slap your logo on a sweatshirt, like, let's just call the brand, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a name quick off the top of my head here.
Piano.
No. You could call the brand Piano. You could put the word piano on a sweatshirt.
Of course.
Bruh, nobody knows what that is.
Yeah.
No one's just going to spend their money on that. And that was my problem. I'm like, yo, how do we build a brand? I go, I guess I'll just use the island stuff, but I'll just make it really, really cool. I was like,
that's it, bro.
And that's the thing. So now all of a sudden, but we start pulling pieces of this puzzle together. I'm like, remember that photographer that I met that one time in the city? I'm like, could you please take photos for me? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, you do it for free? And he's like, yeah, you're cool, dude. Bro, I drove to Montauk with some amazing photographer, Eduardo. I still love you, bro. Amazing photographer who went to bro, I picked him up from the city. We drove 3 hours to Montauk. Bro,
that's
absolutely
nuts, bro.
no reason to go that far. after I realized, and then,
you don't need to go that far to get views. Yeah,
a shoot like that would easily cost between $5,000 to $10,000.
Oh, without a doubt.
Even though we weren't, and I was just the creative director at the time there, and I just told him what I wanted. Shot those photos for me, and that's where it all started. And then another photographer that I met, I'm like, hey, do you think you can shoot photos for me, man? And he's like, yeah, sure. Another guy came out, shot beautiful
crazy.
Photos for me.
Look at that.
But then all of a sudden I was like, I can't keep doing this whole photo thing because eventually my favors will run out and we don't have money to pay people. In the beginning, there's no money.
When you're starting a business,
there's no money.
How are you going to do
and
it?
I couldn't even get a credit card. They were like, oh, you want a line of credit? Show us your credit. Oh, I don't have one. They're like,
no.
bruh.
no credit card for you.
Trust me, bro. You're preaching to the
That's what I'm
choir
saying. So,
here,
like,
man. Preaching to the choir.
Which was funny as hell because I'll never forget, I went to Chase Bank in the city to go deposit all right, it was $2,000, everybody. That's what we started with. Just make you laugh. Like you think that you're a big baller with that money. I went into the city. I was like wearing the most ridiculous outfit. And the guy's like, can I help you? I'm like, yeah, I'm here to open a business account. And he's like, okay, just sit down. I'm like, thank you. Like, I have my sunglasses on inside.
I know, you feel like you
know
said that.
He thought he was the coolest
Yeah, I thought I was, dude. I'm wearing the craziest tie-dye stuff. And now I realize why the guy did not give me
He's probably like, what is
line
this
of
kid
credit.
doing?
Like, what is this
mad
idiot,
funny, bro.
But obviously now I've learned from that point on.
Yeah, you
where
evolve, bro. You
I'm
evolve
not
as a
kid
businessman.
anymore. Now,
Dude, but it takes moments like that in business to realize that you can do so much more. Your mindset changes. It's like those little things help shape the businessman you become.
And that's the thing. So now we're at this point where, okay, the bank account's open, the business is running, we're getting photos posted up. I've sold 75 hats in 2 weeks at Sacred Heart University where I went to school. Shout out to Shu. The population is why? What's wrong? Hate it there?
No.
What's wrong?
I don't know. Yeah, who's there?
Who's there?
I don't want to talk about it.
Ah,
She got
whoever you are.
She got someone at Sacred Heart, man.
Either way, this population of the school is like 75% Long Island. So let's make a
Yeah.
cool Long Island hat, and now let's sell it on the
I hope
hallway.
he chokes.
Bruh.
I hope you choke.
I hope he chokes. And I know he has a locals only hat because I bought it for him.
Oh,
I want my hat back.
damn. But long story short with that as well is that we sold these hats in such a quick amount of time. Thank God for Venmo, because no kid carries cash anymore.
Okay.
So
Right?
you were
Yeah.
stacking the Venmo.
Venmo, I was like, wow, I feel like a drug dealer.
He's like, ah, shit.
And then
Look at these buds.
You know, and it was funny because people would come over to the frat house and be like, you got that hat? And they weren't coming for like drugs or anything.
It was you got that hat. They
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
they
I
were
saw
selling
that
drugs
hat,
out of
bro.
the
I saw
hat.
you.
saying?
I saw you that
Yeah,
real quick,
exactly.
bro.
It's like,
I
hold on,
love it.
I got upstairs. I gotta go get it.
So that's what I'm saying. So now it's like we're evolving, we're going faster. And this is a big moment where everything really changed for me was when my mom, I love her, my best friend, she was like, hey, you can't keep using photographers to shoot. She's like, you have to shoot your own photos.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? You know, I couldn't say, what was I gonna say to her?
Huh?
Exactly. I was
Woman?
like, huh? What do you mean? She was like, you have to take control of the creative vision now to build what you want. Because if you keep passing it off to photographers, you will go broke. She's like, trust me, I do
Can
it
afford
for a
it. Oh,
living.
yeah,
She's like,
trust me.
you
Yeah, I know.
can't afford anybody. So for my 21st birthday, never forget it, I was sick as a dog, didn't go out, had like 8 drinks. She's like, we're going to go get you a camera and we'll split it. So I went and I got a camera.
That's dope.
And
bro.
we split it, and she's like, and now you're on your way. And bro, I have not every single photo that you see, except the most recent photo. I had one of my my new friends shoot some photos to give him some spotlight now too. Has been me. Every
love
single
it, bro.
photo.
I love it, bro.
My wallet. Hold on.
It's all good.
I'm not plugging tile right now.
I gotta say, what? I want one of those.
That's crazy. What is that?
I'm not plugging them. You're not getting the plug tile.
Okay.
You're not getting
Don't
the
plug it. We're not
No.
gonna plug it. I don't even
We'll
know what
talk
it is.
about this
We'll talk about it
after.
after. They're
all
not
right.
sponsored. They're not sponsored.
Made the glizzy going on.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Listen, the one thing you'll say is don't do anything for free. Bro.
I don't. Trust me. Hey, Rob's sitting over there. Rob knows we don't do shit for free, right, homie?
No,
We
don't
ain't gonna
do
anything
don't
for
do
free.
anything for free. But yeah, I mean,
That's
and
crazy, man.
I've shot all those photos. I love shooting photos now. I've shot photos for everybody's stuff from graduation photos at school to just doing the fashion stuff. And
It's almost become like a little thing on the side too.
I
like, for
became
fun.
obsessed with it because
love
I
it.
was like, yo, photos are
That's
fun.
crazy.
And then, you know, I shot all my friends. Dude, if you go on my Instagram, those are my friends. Like,
Yeah.
those are people that I'm friends with or I've met.
That's
or
crazy,
have,
man.
like,
That's so dope.
have been, like, crossed my path in my life. It's just so funny that you look back through that. Yeah, they're just like you and me. They're not supermodels. You know, they're not.
They're your regular everyday person.
But they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
because,
that's how it keeps the culture though.
because you
of-
need
of
to
it going.
see yourself.
Boom.
That's what I'm trying to
So
say.
so like talk a little bit about that, like how you drop. So what is it like? You don't drop. You can't just buy all like the locals only stuff all the time. Like you have a lot of exclusive drops, right?
The reason why I made it exclusive because you know I'm a hype beast too. I love all that stuff. I love Supreme. I love those brands. Don't get me wrong. I'm falling out of love with a little bit of them because they've become so mainstream.
Yeah.
As with Supreme just sold for what 2.1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point now? I mean, now we're just feeding into like before it was cool because it was a small little guy shop,
Now-
Of course.
in down in Manhattan. Now all of a sudden it's a giant conglomerate.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not telling you to stop buying their stuff, but just think about that for a minute.
Yeah, of
so
course.
the drops turned into this thing where at first, dude, to be honest, I was just scared to put out all this inventory because I was like, bro, what if nobody buys it?
And you're stuck with it.
So we bought like 30 pieces. I'm like, yeah, now I'm sweating it. I'm like, holy shit. It's 30 pieces. Oh my God. How am I going to get rid of all this stuff?
Of course.
I'm like, did I buy the right size? Is this small, right? You know, is
Yeah.
medium, large? Oh my God, 2XL. You know, and these are things that I was like, all right, I'm comfortable with 30. All right. So I'll never forget. I was working at a country club at the time, and I released the first crew neck ever, like while I was at the country club. And probably the customers like came out and it sold out. It took about I think a day, but I was like, "Hey, we did it, yo!"
That's
pieces.
crazy.
Oh my
yeah.
God! And I was like, we like my brain was melted. Like you know, we at this point we had a strong following. You know, we have 5,000 or 6,000 people. They knew who we were. Hats were out. Flags were out. It was a whisper. You know, I was like, I know that. You know, if you knew it,
Yeah, a
you
little
knew it, you
more
knew-
community
Yeah,
based. Yeah, yeah.
So they bought it and they got it. And they're like, yo, these are sick. So now I'm like, oh my God, we did
I
it.
can do that.
Yo, wait, so that's crazy.
So,
So
it was one thing. So now all of a sudden I'm like, what if we did something else? And now Ben's like, I don't know, man. Like, you just gotta remember the numbers and everything. So that, like, one piece went out. Then my biggest damn learning mistake I ever made was when I like jumped the gun and I was like, yo, I'm ready to do something new. So we started experimenting with like fulfillment where like someone else does it for you. So I stopped that right away. This quality was terrible.
it's tough.
I hated it. I'm a very hands-on person. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm like, I'm going to handle it. Every single package that's been sent out has been by me. Or
Really?
by someone that's been either
The
part of the
team,
team
yeah.
or has been an intern, or maybe it's my girlfriend Taylor, who I love to death.
Shout out Taylor.
Taylor.
Aw.
We'll get the Taylor in a little bit.
Look at that.
But yeah, I mean, it's this crazy thing where we did 30 and I'm like, all right, I'll do it again. And then I did a powder blue like hoodie. Beautiful color. I love the color. I was obsessed with the color. I was like, man, this color is the coolest color. I was like, yeah, no.
That's dope.
I'm like, nobody can touch this color. We released it. We sold them. We sold 50 or whatever it was. I made negative profit because I was like, I charged 45. They cost me 42. And guess what? Shipping's included. So yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mean, that's something that people don't realize. So
Yeah, it costs money to obviously.
right? And then we did that. I did like some long sleeves and they started selling. And then I put a few things in a Fire Island store that I'm friendly with someone there. We have a house in Ocean Beach. I've been there forever as a kid. That's where I learned my business chops. I sold shells, man. That's what it's all about. I sold shell. I mean, I made money
Selling them
as a
shells.
kid.
Sound them
Which is
shells.
ridiculous now, because if any
Sell
little
the
kid's listening to
shells.
this, and if you charge me more than $1 for a shell, I know you're ripping me off. You want to know why? Because you can go up to the beach and take one of those. That's it.
You just grab a shell for free.
Yeah, bro.
He's like, you want a shell while you get on the
Bro, I,
ferry?
mean, I have kids that, like, I'm walking on the street and I carry cash, and the craziest when they take credit card. I'm like, what the hell?
They got the square
And they got
reader.
the square. And I'm like, this is mad smart. But I'm like, but your taxes though. And then so now it's like all this crazy stuff. But kid's sitting there like with his his wagon. He's like, shells for sale, $1, or it was $3. Sorry, it was $3.
For a
And
shell?
I'm like, wow, inflation's real in the shell
You're
world.
like,
So
God,
then I
man,
walk
the
over
shell
Yeah.
business be nuts,
and
man.
I pick
that
up the
should be
shell.
crazy.
But like, here's the thing: when I was selling these shells, we had a family like factory in the back, like in the back deck, that would draw like really funny stuff on. Like, I got smashed in Ocean Beach. Now, like a 5-year-old kid out there, like, buy a shell, and like a kid picks up, like, what
like,
the hell is
what?
hilarious? Like,
Of course,
so
yeah.
and what happens is they either at the time they give you $1.50, but then you know how it goes. You don't have change. They're like, just keep it, kid.
$5,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
take it, yeah.
And that's how they took care of you. So now they're making like hilarious. Like, I got smashed, or I was
That's
drunk,
funny,
or,
bro.
or like don't call, like, or it's funny stuff that like my family was making that I had no idea that I was selling. I was just like, why are these selling so fast? You know.
What?
So now,
Man, before it was locals only, it was
yeah,
the shell game,
The
man.
shell
The
game.
shell
shells and
business.
jewelry. We did jewelry too. Shout
That's
out to
crazy.
my cousins Sarah and Zach Allen. Super important people, also influenced me. But yeah, I mean, so now back to this little kid. He's like $3 for a shell. And I walk over to him, and now I like want to give back. I'm like, wow, someone did that for
Yeah.
Oh, well, the shell has nothing on it. It's just a shell. And I pick it up, and I'm like, this is $3. I'm like, let's negotiate. He's like, no. And I'm like,
It was the no.
he gave me like the little
Okay.
kid no. And I was like, you're not getting my money. Little fucker. I was like, yeah. I was
Fuck
like,
you,
yeah, I get
Yeah.
Keep your
yeah, But then, it's funny. The next kid,
Goddamn.
like the next person that I saw as a kid, they actually had some artwork on there. That was like, Fire Island 2000,
Made it look-
20 or whatever it was, 19.
Oh, with some paint?
Yeah, scooped it right up. I was like, yep, boom.
I'll buy
And they
this.
gave me a glass lemonade. I was like, dude, that's what I'm talking about.
You got
That's
lemonade
the
and a
lemonade.
shell?
Customer
Yo,
service
yes.
on 100 right
Lemonade
there.
is water
on
and
100.
sugar, and I'm like, the shell. I'm like, I'll pay the $2. That's
Of course.
fair. That's
It's
fair.
fair.
It's
Fair
an
enough.
add-on. And now I'm sitting there. I'm like, yo, this really is a crazy lesson where the kid's gonna learn that if he adds this my favorite is when they go into town, they buy like a box of cookies and they charge you $1 for each cookie that's in.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, how much was the box? You're like, the
Like,
box
you
is
made
$5.
$5. You made a lot.
You made $20.
$1
Profit was
cookie.
crazy.
You want a cookie?
But that's the thing. So now the drops the same concept where I'm putting art out there. We're doing a limited number of pieces.
That's awesome,
And I
man.
want you to try and buy it because you're buying more than just a sweatshirt. You're buying a piece of what's going on right now.
Do you know how many
And
times I've gotten shut out of buying?
We're trying,
cursing at my computer because I could
and
not plug in my card information at the time.
People think I'm lying when we're sold out, or people think
Yeah, people
I'm,
think it's like
Bro,
the social
I'm
proofing
not
of it. Yeah.
kidding. You You think I wouldn't want to take more of your money? Come on.
Of course,
I get
you want to make
upset.
money. Of
I
course.
get,
So
I
how
get
many-
genuinely
how-
upset.
When you drop something, how many items do you drop, or how many of one thing?
30 to
units?
50 every time.
Gotcha.
It's really limited.
And how often are the drops?
I mean, man, I went on a tear there for a while. I don't know if
Every
you were
Sunday,
watching.
baby.
I was
Oh, yeah, I
going.
know.
I
Every
was going
Sunday.
off there for a little bit. I don't know.
I know. I want you to explain to everybody
every,
else.
every Sunday
Yeah.
at 8 p.m. I'd be in the store like this trying to get their Wi-Fi.
That's crazy,
I
bro.
think
He went nuts.
I went once the pandemic really kicked in. I was like, man, I'm bored. Everybody else is bored. I'm like,
was
how can we make
boom,
stuff
boom. It was rocket fire.
safely, right? And deliver more product to you because you're stuck at home.
Yeah.
So the person I work with now, if it wasn't for this guy, I literally wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about anything. He's a young kid. He's one of my printers. Him and I are same wavelength. We talk every day, 2 times, 3 times a day. He's young too. He understands colors. He's not like an old guy. He's like, why would you sell tie-dye blue? He's like, yeah,
don't get it. Yeah,
He's like, that's fire. He's like, that's fire, bro. You know, like there's no questioning me. And then we'd have a dialogue back and forth where I'm like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?
That's dope,
You know,
man.
we go back and forth.
You need that. You
he's
need
a young
that.
kid too. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know about this color. I don't think it's gonna work. And he's like, I agree. I don't think we should do that one. So we started doing that and pumping colors out. And then, bro, I'm not kidding. I think for like 3 months straight, I think I dropped something new every 3 days. So do the math on.
That's
I mean,
crazy. 30 to 50 each
Yo,
time.
Booming.
I've created since the inception of 2020. I thought about it the other day. I had like 75 new products, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It takes
That
a
is
lot
crazy,
out of
bro.
me to be like, and people be like, oh, it's the same logo on a different color thing. Sure, you can argue that to me about certain things,
Be a hater.
but bruh, coming.
It's not easy, bro. Yeah.
From inception to conception, right? Then all of a sudden we need to have I need to test the product, make sure it's up to my standard of what I think is it worth. Then we have to figure out, all right, where are we going to shoot this thing? Then it's who are we going to put this person in?
Dude, it's
Then
a lot more work than people think.
Bro, they just like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a white hoodie. You know, I'm like, it's a white. Yeah, you're right. It's a white.
It's a white hoodie, but
yeah.
there's all
You know,
this that
and
goes along with it.
And that's the thing too with these drops. You know, we were going off there for a while. I was
Yeah.
trying to hit every color possible, and this is where it comes back into culture again. There's such a negative connotation with Long Island that the person that people think of is like middle to white upper class kid who is pretty well off, goes to the beach a lot, dad or mom. Maybe mom doesn't work. Maybe dad's like finance guy, or maybe he's something else, or maybe he's a high paid blue collar worker. They go to the beach a lot, have a boat, you know. And I don't want that to be just our brand.
Yeah.
I wanted to encapsulate people of color. I wanted to encapsulate people that also live here, bro. There's more
bro.
than just that person that lives here.
Trust
That's
me,
it, man.
I know.
Yo, trust me.
There's
Bro,
more
like
than it.
that's the thing is like Dezz and I'm Latino. My family's from El Salvador. Obviously, Dezz is black.
Duh.
You know, so like we
Yeah.
both grew up together.
Yeah.
So like we grew up in the
whitest
of
area.
white
Like,
Yeah.
when
So,
I
like,
say limited to
yeah.
no other black kids in, like we
Very,
grew
very
up
small group.
in the smallest
So, like,
school ever.
Yo, for us, like Spanish is my first language. My parents came here when they were already older. So like for us, like for people like us growing up, it was always weird because when we would branch out and meet people from the city or meet people from other places,
Everyone's like,
it always
"Whoa."
felt weird because they're like,
It
wait,
was
you're
like-
from Long Island? That
and we're
doesn't
like,
make sense.
yeah,
You're not this.
yeah.
You know, it
I
like
know,
became this
but
weird.
but this is my point.
this
to
weird
you.
stereotype,
I'm saying
yeah.
to you, it is a stereotype.
Yeah,
and I
it's a bad
want-
one, too.
I want people to understand that this brand is not about just that one person.
Which I love, man.
Okay,
It's not.
It's not supposed to be. And like those other boomer brands, I'm not saying their names. They're also from Long Island. Yo,
I know what you're
keep
talking
your
about, yeah.
customer base. I don't want them.
Yeah.
Keep them.
Hey, talk that shit, Kevin.
bro,
We
you
talk
can-
that
yo,
shit,
you
bro.
can, you can
Keep-
sell. You
eat
can,
frags.
You know what I'm saying? You
Eat
could sell them the same thing. You know, and you know what? I understand. But this is my point. It takes a lot of courage in people to try and change and make an impact on the conversation.
That's it, man.
And that's what I'm trying to do. And that's what people like just don't understand. I'm just like, oh my God, you know, I'm just like saying, I'm like rubbing my head and I'm like, yo, it's bigger than just the sweatshirt.
It's a bigger picture.
It's you got to see how big it is. And they're like, oh yeah, it's cool. Like, you sold like this one. I'm like, you know what?
And they just don't get it, bro.
But this is my point to you, is that I'm trying to encapsulate Long Island, which is an actually extremely diverse and unique. I'll never forget this. I'm going to tell you a story that like just like this one story.
Keep
stuck
going, by
with
the way. I'm
me.
just looking at the camera.
Yeah, no. This one story stuck with me so hardcore This girl posted these videos of being like, do you know the certain percentage of Native Americans on Long Island, are in poverty, locals only, and kept tagging locals only in it. Now, most businesses are going to run away. Bro, I do not run away from problems. I run to them. Okay?
I run into them.
I put fires out. That's how I run my life. Same way. If there's an issue, we're here to solve it. I'm not here to fester it. And if there's a reason why I'm leaving it alone, there's a reason. You know what I'm saying? So this girl, was roasted. I didn't do anything wrong. Okay? I didn't do anything wrong.
We've been there.
Roasted us. You're not roasting us, you're roasting me. And now all of a sudden I'm like, bro, you don't know who I am. You don't know my friends that I have.
Yeah, you know my
You know where I'm
background.
You
from.
don't know, exactly. So I DM'd her. I was like, hey, how are you? My name's Kevin. I'm the owner of this brand. Let's talk. Dude, she's like, read the message. I'm like, yes, I will talk to you. Most businesses will never do that.
They'll never do it.
They'll never do that. They'll never take on that conversation. It's very
Of course.
uncomfortable. Bro, you think I care? I'm like, come on. I'm secure in who I am.
Let's get into
Let's talk.
it.
So I literally had a FaceTime with her and I talked to her and I was like, tell me everything that you think or is wrong. And I'm like, and then I will listen. So, dude, I had a 30 to 45-minute phone call with this girl. She told me all these interesting facts that I never knew about.
Mm-hmm.
That the diversity, the percentages, all these things that
Wow.
all these facts. I was just like, all right, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, and I definitely didn't know that.
That's amazing, though.
But you have to listen
It's
to
amazing that
that
you took that time though to listen.
Because
And
most
for
people wouldn't do that.
and dude,
that's
for people
that's the
like us
issue.
too, bro. Especially me. Like I'm a white Latino. I my skin is white, right? So like
We know.
yeah, I know
I'm
we
sorry.
know. I know we know. But for people, I think for people in the minority or minorities, we often get spoken to and not listened. And like, dude, like it's a problem. You know what I mean? And like companies choose to, like you said, run away from the problem, and you taking that time, man, to just listen, bro. Like even if you didn't say anything, the fact that you listened,
Yeah.
dude, that's huge, man. That's a big thing.
Kids that are growing up all Long Island right now.
They
need
need
to,
it. They need
They
it.
need to understand that we are all the same people. Do
Yeah.
not get stuck into these circles of like, oh, like it just pains me.
Look where we went to high school. Look at the circles they run.
I know.
But
Trust
what
me.
I'm trying to say is that it's important that the only way to make a change is to start the conversation. So if I have to do it, so be it. If the clothes have to do
Love
it,
it.
so be it. If I have to shoot more people of color in my clothes to get the point across, I will. I will not stop. If I have to
Yeah.
put somebody else, if I have to put, whatever it may be. I mean, it's just crazy to me that like people are just so taken back by it. And I just try to make that point pushed out and forward, and that's important to me. That's what I'm saying to you. It's not about just clothes, it's about the culture, dude. It's the
Yeah.
culture.
I
It's
love
the
it, man.
culture.
I love
And
it,
that's
bro.
where it has to become a thing, I hate culture vultures. I hate people that are just trying to pry. Like, if you want to go
Off
buy a
of a
Long Island
situation,
shirt
yeah.
from somebody else,
Go.
please go ahead.
Bye.
But understand that if you buy into this brand, you're buying into a much larger idea. You're not just buying a shirt.
Buying into a full culture, man.
Yeah,
Mindset, bro.
So
A
I'm
mindset.
saying you're buying into a mindset.
I love it, bro.
That's what people are finally understanding, that it's not just about the clothes. You're buying into a messaging, a culture, an idea, that it is about locals. I'm not being also, so exclusive that people can. I have people that buy my. This is crazy too. I have a friend from New Jersey that loves my stuff so much that he ordered it, and I was like, dude, you're like betraying your state. He's like, yeah, it sucks anyway. I was like, oh. He admitted it. I was like, I knew
yes.
it. I knew it. So, I mean, I could ramble on and on and on about how I want to make a difference and cultivate culture, but I'm just gonna keep doing it because it's literally the mission of the brand. That's what clothes are supposed to do. That's what art is supposed to do. It's supposed to help push conversations forward, push bigger ideas forward, and make people think differently. That's it.
I love it.
That's what it's all about. That's
And
what I
people don't know
want
that.
to come out of this, And it will keep happening. It will keep getting pushed forward, but it's just going to take a lot of my time and energy and effort and creative juices, and it burns. It can burn me out.
I was about to say
It can
that.
burn me out. I've had some burnouts. I've had some days where I'm like, can't even look at my phone right now.
Yeah, bro.
I was like, I
Of course,
can't
man.
do it. Can't look at this. I can't think about another piece of clothing I have to make. I need like a reset button, And that's what people don't realize either. I mean, creating that many products that fast,
It's a lot.
Hard as hell,
It's
man.
hard.
Yo, we've delivered every package. There's a lot of packages too, bruh. You know, that's a lot of stuff to put out.
Of
You know,
course,
there's
bro.
A lot of stuff that, you know, it builds up over time. I mean, Black Friday, we're still packing on
I was
Black
gonna
Friday.
say.
And I'm trying to make sure that everybody gets their stuff. By the way, we're not Amazon either. I don't have 100-person staffing where it gets to you in a day.
You're not. Yo, you can only do so much,
We're
man.
depending on other people to get stuff done. Dude, my relationship with the post office is like insane.
You're at the post office all the time.
Every day.
Hey,
Hi, hey,
hey.
everybody. You know, every day we're
They
there.
recognize
They're
you.
like the most beautiful, greatest people that literally get no credit for their job.
I know. Post people are so underrated.
Portia, you know I'm talking to you. She's my favorite.
Shout out to Portia.
Portia, right? She always takes care of me. Always makes sure
I
my
love it,
stuff
bro.
is ready. You know,
No, that-
they're always there. They're always ready to help me. And
That's huge, man.
and they watch the business grow from one package, right? They're like
To
two,
like
three.
hundreds.
You know, not even hundreds, but just like enough for like, wow, good for you, Kevin. Like you're
you
doing
did
it.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
You did
And
it.
it's crazy because they watched it too. They were watched from the beginning. I just be like, oh, I'm so flustered. I had to pack up these 3.
bro.
You know, now I'm like, yeah, bring in the truck.
It's
I'm
like, I
oh,
need
yeah.
the truck.
You know, it's so. I mean, that's another thing too with this stuff. And my big thing about the locals only stuff and keeping it local, like all those taglines that we come up with. Now, people are like, oh, you know, it's so easy to make a Long Island
It's
clothing
not.
brand. It's so easy to just slap. Sure.
You do it then.
Bro,
You
I'm
do
not
it then.
competing with you. You know who I'm competing with? Ralph Lauren.
Of course.
I'm competing with Tommy Hilfiger.
Yeah, you're trying to build
Hear
something
that,
that's
Tommy?
a lot
I'm coming
larger.
for you, bro. I read your book.
That shit.
I read your book,
He's
Tommy.
coming for you,
I know what you're
Tommy.
doing, Tommy. But
Yo.
like, at least what I'm saying is that's how big we're thinking.
Good, man.
You guys-
Good. But that's what you need to be thinking, bro. That's the way
I'll be wearing
that
locals
you
only
need to
forever.
be like moving as a small business owner.
But this
You know
is
what I
the
mean?
thing is the only reason why that you should ever buy my stuff is because it's cool and we can. If I'm trying to beat the conglomerates, I'm trying to show you that. Give us a little bit of a chance. Give us some faith that I can make you fire gear. Give me a shot. Like it can happen.
It didn't
Don't-
take long for me.
hey,
don't-
it's happening, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. But you just have to trust that we can do it for you.
Yeah, man.
I mean, and also the pricing stuff is just insane to me because now I live in this space. I know, but we are not charging you a lot. People are like, oh my
course.
God. People like complain. I'm like, trust me. when
what
I
is
say
an
it.
what is an average
Like
piece
50,
go for?
55?
Yeah.
But your shipping and taxes are included. Guys,
Included.
take away
Included.
$7. It's really $45.
Yeah.
Think about it, because I've done it. I've spent $120 on a sweatshirt. This is nothing.
No, not at all.
But
It's
that
nothing.
and that's the thing is that people like kind of forget that like those things are included. That's
Oh, yeah.
why and I don't make a big deal out of it. I'm like, listen, I'll give you a promo code if you can't afford it. We do these giveaways all the time because people can't buy stuff. That's why we do because I want you to wear it. I don't.
Yeah, so I need Dez and I were talking about it before. Your scavenger hunts that you do, the little
I'm addicted to them.
they're
I'm
so
addicted
dope.
to them.
They're fun.
I'm
They're dope.
addicted
When-
they
to
do
them.
get out of control.
When are we coming with you? Because we're
we
ready.
We could have done one today, but
Yeah,
I did not give anybody a heads
we
up.
were
And
low
trust
key.
me when I say
We were
this to
low
you.
key hoping.
They're waiting. So you know someone's gonna DM you like, no scav hunt tonight.
Yeah, it already happened yesterday and today. I mean, the thing is too is that the scavenger hunts were a funny idea. The interns,
They're awesome.
the
They
interns,
really
Tyler
are.
and
Shout out to
Kenny.
you
Funny-
guys.
It's funny enough. Tyler was a part of my old fraternity at school, and he asked me to. Like,
I need to know
model
what fraternity were you in?
Omega Phi Kappa, Multicultural Fraternity
Oh
Incorporated.
shit!
She's in a
Don't-
sorority.
don't
What
get
are
me.
you in?
No,
I don't know. I don't know any
Sigma Delta Tau.
Sigma Delta.
But
what?
ours was a
Mhm.
local. Ours was a national. But
Gotcha,
I mean,
gotcha.
it doesn't take away anything.
Greek life is still Greek life.
Exactly. So
I'm no
But
hater.
that's crazy. So
Um,
these scavenger hunts, bro, I think it's so cool. So you're hiding them in like popular
I
places or
literally
like
love it.
landmarks. Like what is it that you?
I like the
and
little
why did you
dances
guys
and the
start
rolls
doing
on the ground.
So we were trying to think of a way to interact with the customer base, but also we're in the middle of a pandemic. So like, how can we I would love to do a meetup. Be like, yo, just come down. Let's have a pop-up shop. Not very responsible
Yeah,
right
not
now.
very safe to do it.
So
yeah.
also not very safe.
but you know when this is over, you know you can do it.
No. But this is we'll come to that conversation later. But like my point being though is that they were talking about maybe doing a scavenger hunt or something, and I was like trying to think about how to do it. And Kenny, I love giving Tyler a personality of being Tyler the intern. I was trying to think of like what the hell can I give Kenny to do? And Kenny sent me a TikTok that he made. I was like, dude, that was amazing. How'd you do that? And he was like, oh, I did some editing. I'm like, you are TikTok Kenny. That's it. I got your name. And he
He's
was like,
literally TikTok Kenny.
you know, and he
Kenny, what's up, bro?
And this hire
Kenny,
the interns.
so Kenny is Taylor's cousin, believe it or not, my girlfriend's cousin. He was a
Ah,
customer. He was a
shit.
customer. Listen, he was a customer, and when we were packing up stuff, Taylor was like, I know this name. I was like, why? She's like, it's my cousin. I'm like, no way. Send him a note. So she wrote him a note like, hi, Kenny.
That's crazy.
So she sent it to him. He was like, what the hell? You know? So then he came to work for me too, because obviously not a lot of jobs for kids out of school right now, or at least for.
I'm living that dream right now. It blows.
So,
it blows
and
so
I
much.
asked him, I said, I can't pay you anything. I go, but I can give you so much knowledge. I was like, it's worth just as much, dude. I'll pay for your gas or stuff, but I can't like give you a check.
Of course.
And he was like, all right. I was like, and I will take care of you guys at the end of the year, but we'll do something fun, like a big fishing trip. And they like thought I was full of shit, but we went, baby. So,
they went fishing.
So, you know, we started with them, and then me and Kenny. I'll never forget the first day we did it. So I'm like, Kenny, what do you think? We just hide under a rock and then put the coordinates? He was like, yeah.
Do you know we were like,
Wait, hold on. Wait,
sorry.
sorry. I was like, what do you think's gonna happen? I was like, I said, honestly, dude, I think people are gonna come look for it. I mean, it makes the most sense. I mean, if you really, it's free. It's here.
Yeah, people
So
will
we
come.
put it over this rock. We were in Smithtown. I remember. I'll remember the exact video. Like you literally pull it up. I remember Smithtown. We're on the Bayside, and we found this rock, and we put it in under this rock. And I'm like, Kenny,
bro.
I'm like, Kenny, find the coordinates. And he's smart. He goes on Google. He's like, oh, these are the coordinates. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. We posted it, and like a couple was like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, no, can you please leave that package? Dude, the first one almost like destroyed. I'm like, can you please leave that package there? We're doing a scavenger hunt. They're like, yeah, okay. And I was like, yeah, please leave it there. And I'm like, dude, we can't even get our feet off the ground with this damn thing. So we leave. 10 minutes. Get DM. I found it. I'm like, Kenny, bro, they found it. And Kenny was like, what do you wait? Hold on. We just put it down. I was like,
Bro.
when you guys were in Fire Island, my friends went fucking insane. They were running
but
from
that's
the
what I'm
house.
saying. So now we did the first one, and I was like, that like kind of worked. So then I was like,
Blew up.
let's just do it again. And then we did it again at a different location. Probably, I think it was the same person that found it. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember your name. I know your name. It's in my head. It will come to me. They found it again. And I was like, yo. But it's the same person. Now I'm thinking like, they just found it 2 times. And they're like, no, I beat somebody there. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yes.
You beat somebody there?
Yes.
They're like, yeah, I ran to the spot before this kid got there.
Imagine
So
seeing
then-
someone bolting to a rock.
So then from there, I was like, also, you gotta remember when you have people that are working for you, they need things to do, right?
It's like, hey, go hide this.
Yeah, and then I was like, but then I gave Kenny, this is where Kenny's knowledge lesson comes in. I go, Kenny, your job is in charge of the TikTok. You are gonna run a TikTok. You are gonna figure out how to do this. I go, this is gonna be your bread and butter. I want content. I want ideas. You're running my. I will make final calls if I'm like yes or no as the creative head, but I want you to do it so you learn something. And he was like, okay. And then I was like, Tyler, your job, make Billy Joel videos. That's all I want from you. Just Billy Joel videos all day long. We will talk about
That's
them.
Long Island's father, man.
We will make them funny. I go, don't worry, we can figure it out together. So I had one kid on the memes, and I had one kid on the TikTok, and it was a good mix because they both got. Tyler's in video and editing classes at school, so he got like real experience from a real company that uses his stuff. And then Kenny's in social media manager, so now he's actually managing social media. So like these, and then I had them make the intern page so they can start experiencing what I go through, which is like, I'm like, dude, you guys are gonna learn how to answer DMs. And they're like, it's not that. I go, no, you know how to answer DM as a kid. I go, now you have to do it as a business owner. We have to do it as someone that is in a part of a business. So you have to be polite, you have to be professional, you have to answer them promptly, quickly. You have to take care of them.
Yeah, man.
You know, and
It's a whole other world, man.
Yeah, they started learning. Kids started, hey, you know what? And they started getting the and they text me like, hey, Kevin, like, what should I say to this? And I'm like, what do you think you should say? And then they would tell me, I'm like, hell no, that's not what you're gonna say. You're gonna say this. And they're like, oh, I get it now.
Man, what's crazy is you are describing exactly what I do with my interns and what I've done with this kid Rob over there. I got my phone recording on the side too.
It's the hand above the phone for
hand
fucking
over
me.
there. What's up, Rob? Rob has been like he's in high school. I brought him on because his dad is a pretty big PR agent
Shout out
for
Rick.
music. His name is Rick. Rick Everly Agency, shout out to them. But they, I've been working with him. I was teaching Rob acting. And he was just a kid who I knew had more potential to do more stuff.
Of course.
And I started my business when I was 16, like fully incorporated and everything. That's what my parents gave me for Christmas one year.
You got an LLC for Christmas?
I got a corporation for my 16 when I was 15. December 25th, I opened it up. There was my articles of incorporation, everything, the big binder you get from New York State.
That's cool.
You already know.
I should have asked for that.
It was the best. But grabbing, I think the thing that you can do as a business owner, the best thing you can do is give knowledge to other people.
Yeah.
Because if like someone, not everyone's going to be with you forever. It's your baby. You know what I mean? And hopefully you hope people can stay with you. You hope people can grow with you. But the reality of it is that, everyone, Dezz tired now. Dezz getting bored.
No, I'm not bored.
No,
I just
I'm
got
kidding.
tired.
But the one thing I think you can give as a business owner is that bit of knowledge. So like that's dope, bro, that you're taking on people who, want to learn, man. That's it, bro. That's what it's all about.
I try and give them tools to learn something new and give them life lessons that I've learned along the way. And if it passes on, it passes on. And if it doesn't, it does. I mean, it is what it is. I have to try and give back to people that have given me stuff.
Why am I paying for grad school when I could just be his friend?
Yeah, dude, everyone's gonna, just so you know, our listeners gonna be DMing you, man.
No, literally, why am I paying thousands of dollars for grad school when I can literally just be his friend?
I mean, you could, if you need a real mentor, if you need someone to talk to, or if you really think that you are worth my time. See, this is the thing.
Hell yeah.
I learned that from somebody too. Yeah, I'll answer anybody. But if you're really worth my time, I will step
this
out.
Man Kevin is like, bro, me and him, we need to fucking hang out more.
Yeah.
Man, 'cause this shit,
I told you were gonna like
this
him.
man is just like me,
I told
bro.
you.
So,
I
yeah,
use that exact same thing.
I mean, but it's
I always say
true.
my time is dude. The money comes and goes. The one thing you don't get back is your time.
Yeah, of
Do
course.
not waste my time.
That's,
Like
that's what I'm saying. I mean, if someone
man.
really needs help, or if they really
love
want
it.
to talk to me, if they really have real questions, I will gladly talk to you. If I could, I would take on 1 million kids to mentor. I mean, I was a what's it called? A teacher's aide in college.
Yeah, bro.
Right? I taught kids an entrepreneur class. I'll never forget this. This is a good story for everybody. I got this one teacher. It was like, listen, we have one slot left. You'd be great at it. Just take on one of the groups. And this is at the time when Kevin was really drinking and like having way too much fun. And I mean, this is crazy right now.
I feel like Kevin just told me I need to get my shit together.
I mean,
right there.
We'll talk,
He's
yeah.
like, Desiree, it's time to stop drinking
but so-
because your life is a shit show.
No. So like, this is where I'll talk about the pandemic stuff where my like life changed and I made some really serious decisions that helped like obviously bring us to the next level. But at the time, I was really drinking. I was really having a lot of fun. And she's like, listen, the classes are at 9:00, whatever the time it was. She's like, just show up when you show up, and I want you to be a part of it. And I was like, I never even took the class, right? Which is like, it's a required class too. And she's like, I don't even know how you fell through the cracks on this one, but I'll let it pass. She's like, just come be a TA.
He swindled, just like I swindled.
I love it.
The
So
swindlers.
now I was like, fine, but I show up when I want, and I'm not wearing a suit. And she was like, fine, whatever. Yeah.
Fuck
So like
the
the
suit.
first day, right?
Rolling into the sweatshirt.
The first day, you're like going into classes, show up late. You already know the sunglasses are on inside. I like come in, I'm like,
Half drunk.
yeah, exactly.
Last
I'm like, wait,
night.
I'm wearing like cowboy boots. Everyone else is wearing like suits. I have all these tattoos, and I'm like wearing a shirt. I'm like, let's do this. So, like, now the teacher's like introducing all the TA. She's like, and this is Kevin. I'm like, sup. Just like
I know the
hello.
kids are like,
Not out
I
of it.
want you.
Right. So now they're just like, okay, these are the groups that are being assigned. So like, this group gets this group, this guy gets that guy, and they're like, Kevin, you're in this group. I'm like, let's go, baby. So I go over and I'm like, what's up? You guys ready to win this entire thing? And they're just like, oh, look at each other. I'm like, yes, I smell like Jack Daniels.
Yeah, baby. This is what I was drinking last night.
So now, after that first class, I like get the chance to talk to these kids, and now it's really interesting because I just start my business while I'm teaching them how to run their business. So like all these things are happening at once, and now, I'm like things that I'm learning from them, I'm learning from me, I'm learning from these people, and they did this great product called No Nose. It was a wipe that you put on glass that would keep your pet from touching their nose on the glass.
Hey.
Super
Good idea.
Super smart.
Wow.
Right? So now I'm like, great idea. All we got to do is make one hell of a goddamn pitch and we win this whole thing. So, bro, we like start with the pitches and now this is where my bro, numbers are not my strong point. I'm like, yo, get a good accounting person. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about that. I'm not worried about that. They're like, oh, what about this? I'm like, don't worry about that. I'm like, advertising, sales. These are the things that Kevin's good at. So we are gonna, and then all of a sudden I stopped coming in so hungover because I was like, I actually gotta kind of be on my shit for this.
Yeah,
I gotta pay attention now. We're building something here. So next thing you know, we go to the first round of like against the class on the inside. Yeah, we won. And I was like,
I fucking love it, bro.
Every tear was like this. Like rolling as my ha.
Like, y'all should have drank the night before.
Right? And then
y'all should have more
we
fun,
go to
man.
the next section, which is like where the teachers pick or whatever. And then, they make it to the final 5 out of the entire, I think it was the freshman class.
That's fucking crazy,
and I'm like
bro.
this. I'm like, if we win right now, bro, I'm going to talk so much shit. Oh, my God. I was like, if we win right now, no one can touch me forever. I'm like, I'm untouchable. I'm untouchable at this point. So they go into the presentation. Like, I prepped them as much as I possibly could. And these kids, they just killed it, man. They did a great job. And I'm like, we got this, bro. I was like, we did it. And they like, no, this is the winner. I'm like, oh, my God. I sat there and I was like, man, I really can teach somebody how to make something successful. I really can make people believe in themselves.
Wow.
So after that moment happened, I was like, I got to just kind of look in the mirror and be like, Kev, you can do it.
Yeah.
If you can make them believe in themselves,
You can do it.
I can do it too. And that's where it like kind of snowballed into my business. And, now we're here and all those kids are definitely doing very well. They all have like good careers now. They all picked, but that was impactful towards them and me being like, hey, it's my chance to teach people something. And that's why it's the same way I treat stuff with Tyler and Kenny. I'm trying to give you knowledge. I'm trying my best. And the scavenger hunt thing blew up, very successfully on TikTok. It was a lot of fun. We got to keep it in control now because now we have a lot of followers. And like, this is another thing too. I actually looked to Joe Rogan on this. Before Joe Rogan was as big of a podcast guy, he was just a bald dude smoking weed and talking about like,
doing shrooms.
Shrooms. Now all of a sudden, he has millions of listeners, man. Bro, they listen to your opinion. Be careful what you say.
Bro, Joe Rogan, dude, I sometimes listen to Joe Rogan. He says some shit that's so wild, and I'm like, just so you know, like, maybe I won't believe everything this man hears, but there are people out there who, that's Bible to them.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
So I felt
crazy,
I felt the same way with our stuff. That's why with the TikToks, like, I don't want people speeding. I don't want people trying to push somebody out of the way. I don't need
you don't want to eat safely, man.
It's not about being violent. It's about having fun and being like, I found it, And that's why the last 2 TikTok I've changed it up. I'm like, bro, I'm not telling you where I am. Bro, when we there's 2 instances that are very important that I learned a lot from. One was when we went to Port Jeff. Was it Port Jeff? Port Jeff. I went there with Tyler and Kenny. Okay. It's the summer. We told everybody we were coming. We're like, we're coming to Port Jeff. We're going to come hide some packages. No biggie.
People
ready.
are there waiting.
They weren't just there waiting. They were walking the streets already. So we would pull in, and I'm like this. Now the car, people know the car. Kenny. So they're like, hey, Kevin. And I'm like this. Kenny, drive. So we were getting chased around Port Jeff. It's a small town. We finally went into a back parking lot. I said, turn all the lights off. Let's bend down. So everyone went down. I'm like, we actually for the first time have like a real tail. I was like, we need to like relax.
Bro, you gotta be careful with it. Yeah.
We get out of the car.
Crazy.
We get out of the car. I'm like, everybody separate. So now it's like a move. I'm like, separate. So like Kenny goes one way, I go this way. I go meet back up at this point in the next 10 minutes, and we'll see if we can get real way. All of a sudden I hear, guys, Tyler's running because people are chasing after Tyler. I'm like, get the fuck out of there. Kenny's like, Kevin, everyone's like, I'm trying to play it safe because I know, first of all, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so we got to be safe. Everybody's wearing a mask. Like, don't ever think that they're always wearing masks. We always made sure we were safe, and now I'm a slick guy, so I'm like calm. I'm not running anywhere. I always wear dark colored clothing. I know how to do it. I know how to just blend in.
Sketchy.
You know what I'm saying? I just know how to blend right in. I've watched way too many spy movies to not know what to do.
He's ready. My man's ready.
I'm like, Dark Alley. Love Dark Alley.
He's like, Dark Alley.
I'm like, Batman. Whoop, it's gone. Didn't even see me. Change my hat. Whoop, it's gone. Didn't even know who I am. Jacket. Turn my jacket inside out.
It's like,
man's is ready.
But so that instance taught me a lot. I'm like, first of all, these things are real. People met us. They were so excited. They're like, you're saying local celebrity. I'm like, probably not. We're just close, relax. And that taught me a lot. I'm like, okay, we're never telling anybody where we're going ever again. I was like,
but bro,
yo.
like you don't.
Then the other night we went to, this is most recent one. I went to Seaford. Now people are watching the TikToks. They know that I would go to a train station. I'd go to either a high school
and a town sign.
And a town, like something random, either a town sign.
I spent too much time on my phone.
Right? No, but this is what I'm saying. We trained you to understand, like, you have a good chance.
Yeah, where it's going to be.
Time it right.
It's all in timing.
But, dude, this is the problem.
They're waiting already.
I go to, Wantagh was crazy. Shout out to Wantagh. Seaford was crazy. On there, I went by myself for the Wantagh one. So I get to the train station. I, like, park. I go up the stairs, I look around, I'm like, all right. I put the package down, I walk down off the steps. I like sit down in my car and I'm just like watching. Like I'm just like one car pulls up, then another one 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 pulls up. I'm like,
no.
I'm gonna post this video when I leave. So I would leave and then I post the video. Bruh, I found it, it's gone. I'm like, damn.
Bro.
So now I drive down towards the high school to go do this next package. Yeah, there's 20 cars in there.
Are you kidding me?
So now I'm like this, skirt, turn around. I like turn around and I'm like, I like stop and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, how am I going to get these people to leave so I can do the package here? You know? And now I don't know every town like the back of my hand.
Of course, yeah.
So I can only pick
exactly.
I can only
so
pick
many places.
so many locations. So now I'm like, I figure out, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go down the street. I'm going to go to this spot with this crazy train thing. I'm going to put the package there and then I'm going to draw them out. So like,
you can divert.
So that I can divert the traffic and I can go that
Drop
way.
it and run.
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like,
bro.
as I'm coming up with this plan, a car pulls up, hey, Kevin. Damn.
Yo,
I'm
what?
like, oh, yo. I'm like,
what?
Yeah, as I'm like
Crazy.
coming up with this plan, this car, they pull up and I'm just like, you got me. I'm like, here, take, I had like an extra something in my car. I was like, jacket. I'm like, take this jacket. I'm like, no problem. Like, you got me. We're square.
He said, hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
What it do?
People, dude.
But
Look,
wait. So now I go to the spot. I drop the package off. I come back to the same spot. I post a video. Man, like wasps and like hornets, they come flying out of the ice. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm like this, counting. And I'm like, almost there. I'm like, and they're gone. And I turn and I go over there. And I'm like, whew, that was a good idea. As I'm putting down the package, I was like, Kevin, I'm like, damn! I'm like, yo, I put so much energy into that, you know? So I post the video really fast. That's like, because sometimes videos are so fast because I'm just getting caught. I'm like, you got it, you know? But people keep, bro, and then I have
People
Kenny,
are crazy.
Bro, I have people aren't crazy. They're just really into it.
and they're excited, bro.
Which is awesome.
You've built something.
Wait, and then when you said
excitement.
every day, I told my friends, I'm like, listen, he can only go so far in Suffolk County.
Bruh.
Get in the car.
That video, that was also tiring too. And people are like, yo, this company must be huge. No, it's not.
It's you, it's
me.
Kenny.
Bro,
It's literally that.
Kenny's in South Carolina. His family moved, so he's heartbroken right now. Tyler didn't come home from school. He just came home, right? Taylor is like an adult and is studying to be a lawyer, so she has to study. Okay, she has to do
It's
work.
really just Kev.
Right? I love Ben to death, but Ben has also moved on. Bro, he's a real adult. He has a real job, real like girlfriend, real everything now, real apartment, like all this stuff.
Real timeline.
Bro, real. I'm out here running around on TikTok trying to hide shit.
And everyone's chasing around like
Chasing
I
around. And like now.
And you're doing it, yeah, but bro, like that's the thing.
Bro, I
is, like,
drove to South. You know how far away that is from Malvern? You know where
Yeah,
Malvern
man.
is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that where you live? Or
Bro,
that's
I'm
where,
from Malvern. So now I'm like,
They were in Blue Point the other day. A
people,
troop.
Bro, people are like hitting me up in these locations,
Man.
right? They're like, I ask you, like, what town should I go to? Guys, there is I watch and see how many, we tally it. Like, okay, this town got a lot. Southold was like, I'll never forget that. And then when I said, I'm going to do a giveaway every day. After I posted the video, I'm like, oh, man.
He's like, I fucked myself.
I was like, why would I do
this?
that? And then I was like, you know what? It'll be fun. People have anticipation at night. They'll be excited to go out and do fun stuff. And yeah,
This idiot.
This is what I'm saying.
I'm like this.
And
I'm like, who wants to go do
that's
something
where-
fun?
Did you stop doing it now? Like,
Well,
are
I
you done?
just,
take breaks.
I almost did it for every day. One day I literally couldn't do it because I had 50 to 60 emails and all these orders to take. Yo,
Of course.
I love doing the scavenger hunts, but guys, I have to take care of customers that actually paid for something.
Guys,
Yeah.
leave him alone.
No, don't leave me alone.
Don't blow him up as much.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
everybody. I love talking to
Of course,
everybody
man.
and taking care of people, but like there's a day I had to make a call. I was like, yo, guys, I love everybody. We have to start packing things up.
But we have
to answer emails. I'm like, you'll just wait till tomorrow. And then that's why, I mean, with all those places, man, like, Southold was like, come to Southold. I went out there. We are in the middle of nowhere now. Southold, not that you're the middle of nowhere, but like you are the middle of nowhere. You guys are North Fork. You're one of the very first towns ever settled on Long Island. Like history, everything. So we get out there, and I love that. I love the North Fork. It's beautiful there. Mm-hmm. And we did the packages there. Man, we have some crazy stronghold in South. People were going nuts in Southold. They were like, shout out Southold. Let's hold it down, baby. I was like, yo, this was worth the hour and a half. I'm like, I got you guys. It was like hour and a half there, hour and a half. That's 3 hour drive. I was like, yo, that was worth every minute. I was like, I don't even care that I drove that far.
Dude, you have built something now, though.
You built a mini empire.
Dude, with what your presence online, with the sharing, with everything. You want to know why we called you a local celebrity? Because you are, man. You are. You may not view it that way.
You may not say it, but you are.
That's fine.
When I texted Ethan, I said, I think I just got Kev to be on the pod.
Yeah, we were so excited.
He goes, Dezz. I said, you have no idea.
We were so pumped.
How made my day was. Dude, he said, yeah, I'll do it.
I'll tell you. This kid right here, Rob over there, he's like, I got to stand up now. Rob was so excited.
He told his little friends. He told his friends.
Rob's 16-year-old Rob.
In high school.
This man he bragged to all of his friends.
I got Locals
and
Only
he's like, the podcast I help produce, Locals Only's coming on. They are pumped, man. Like, people get so excited about this.
And I'm happy that people get so excited. I'm happy because I'm gonna tell you something right now. It may look easy.
It's not.
We put
hours.
Everyone.
How many sleepless nights have you had? Is the real question.
They keep coming. Every damn second, I'm thinking about this thing.
Yeah, man.
Let's become
life.
Trying to make something bigger than ourselves, and like have moments like this. Just like this. This is sick that you guys have your own podcast, now I can help you push even further, and you can help me push even
100%.
But that's the thing. That's what people don't understand it. And don't get me wrong. There's definitely times where I've said no to things where I'm like, yo, it's conflicting interest, or like you've had someone else on there that I'm not okay with.
Of course, man.
But at the same time, I'm just like, bro, like if I can help somebody, I think that aligns with what we're trying to do, I will gladly.
Especially if we can work, and do stuff
with you. I will not fight you at all. And that the one girl, Steph, who just had me on her other podcast, like she was blown away that she like also tried to call me out on her story. I called her literally in like 5 minutes. I went to her profile. I was like, oh, her number's here. Hilarious. Like, you.
Is it what up?
And she was like, who is this? I'm like, it's Kevin from Locals Only. How's everything? And she's like, what? And I was like, I saw your video. What's up? And she said,
shit.
People get excited, man. You have done something so amazing for the community, for Long Island, not just for Long Islanders too, because like you said, your boy from Jersey's rocking this shit, bro. This is something that like
you guys support us Flatlanders.
Hey, and but you know what? Just the idea of Locals Only, you're not only building something that applies to Long Island, even if Long Island logos are present and things like that, whatever. Like you're building something that you're telling people, yo, rep your community, man. Like it's something larger than just Long Island.
And that's the thing too, is that, it's crazy to think that these giant conglomerates are allowed to be open during these crazy times, like a Walmart. No offense to them, like Home Depot, all these other places, they're considered essential. But just stop. Like, what do you need? You need a drink? Go to the corner deli shop that families own for 30 years.
People don't get it, man. Go to the bodega.
Support your local business.
Like, and the thing is too, is like there's definitely certain versions, but this is what people have to wake up that are in the local business community. This is like it's like a very hot topic for me. Do not guilt me though into supporting you. No. Because you're a small business. Bro, if we're not doing our job, there's no reason for you to come and support us.
If it sucks, if the product sucks,
that's
why
what
go?
I'm saying, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I hate that. Like, support local, shop local. Sure, if it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to some shitty back corner deli for a turkey sandwich I hate.
I'm trying to press that upon other local businesses that, like, I want you to be on the same level and compete on a bigger scale, but you need to step it up.
Yeah.
You need to do better.
You need
That's
to step
a nice
it up.
way of saying you need to do better.
You cannot just get away with this laissez-faire attitude and be rude to people and be mean or say I'm not changing my ways because I've done that way for 30 years. Bro, you know what happens when you don't change? You die.
Yeah.
It's part of evolving, right? And that's what the part when we talk about the pandemic thing with the drinking and everything. This is like serious for me too. Pandemic hits. I used to love going out and being crazy. Like it was so much fun. You know, that was my thing. Like
that is me and Dezz, man. You're talking to us,
yeah,
man.
I was always the
Dezz
guy that like would go to the bar and be like, "Can I have 10 Bud Lights?" And the guy'd be like, "Really, dude? You're like, you're like, who are these
Guilty.
for? It's for everybody and me." So like, I give 5 out, I'd be like, "These 5 are mine." I carry him around, be that guy. But at the same time, it's just true. It's fun.
We have fun.
Yes, it is fun.
It's fun.
Now, this is where the pandemic changed my whole life. We're not going out anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with my girlfriend Taylor. We're seeing each other every day because 1, we can't go anywhere, and 2, we have to be within the same people because you don't want to spread the virus.
Yeah, you can't see. Yeah, man. You
can't
gotta be safe.
So now we're spending less time together, and like I don't know what happens. The gyms close, and I read so this is where the big thing shifts. I used to hate reading. Taylor is an amazing person and loves to read. She's like, "I bought you this book." I was like, "Wow, I never bought me a book before. That's kind of."
If you buy me a book for Christmas,
No, but this is what I'm saying.
I love books, man.
Everybody has different things.
I read.
Now I love gifts. I mean, who doesn't love getting a gift?
Of course.
Right? So
Makes you all happy.
I get this book, and I'm like, you don't want to scoff at it. You're like,
Thanks.
I don't read. That's okay.
I guess I'll read this time.
So she gives you this book, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna read it. So I don't want to backtrack on the story, but I'm gonna backtrack because this is important for the relationship that I'm in. Taylor's favorite book was Catcher in the Rye.
Okay.
I don't read books. She found it in my room on the floor. It was like, "How dare you leave this book on the floor? It's an amazing book." And I was like, "I don't even know what you're talking about. What the fuck are you talking about?" It's like, "You don't know this book, Catcher in the Rye?" And I was like, "No. What is this, high school? I'm not reading that." So she like had an attitude with me, and I was like, I like calmed her down. But I picked the book up and I read it every day at the
Holden
gym.
Caulfield, man.
Before I read it, so I'd go on the bike for 20 minutes. I'd bike and I'd read it. Yeah, I'd read a couple pages. Just knock it. Just chip away at it. Chip away. Chip away. Chip away. Next thing you know, I finished the book and I'm like, "Damn, man, that was kind of a good book."
Great book, man.
Also, that was like my brain feels better.
Yeah.
So now I did like the most mushy, gushy thing. I took the last page and I cut it out and I put it in a frame for Taylor and I gave it to her for Christmas. Damn, that was a good gift. Yo.
Adorable.
Let's go creative vision, baby.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. So
wow.
So like
That's
I'm gonna do that for you.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. I need it.
It was the page, of course, that had her favorite quote on it. So like that was. But fast forward. So now I read that book, and then the pandemic hits, and she buys me another book, and I read this book, and it's a great book. The reason why I'm not telling anybody is because it taught me some things that I don't want you to know. So long story short, though, the author like puts her social stuff there, and I'm like, I'm gonna hit her up, bro. I hit her up. I had a Zoom call with her. Yeah. I said, "Hey, my name's Kevin. I run this business thing called Locals Only. I would love to speak to you. Let me know." Not that I hear anything. Bro, I got a DM a couple of days. "Hey, Kevin, I would love to talk to you. Let's talk about it." So I was like this. What? So now, me and her have a Zoom meeting and we're talking about marketing and Generation Z and how old are you?
23.
23.
We're not millennials.
Yeah.
I know
We're Gen
that.
Z.
We're Gen Z.
But
They were cuss words, they call it, right?
I didn't know that before I read this book. I was like, whatever.
No.
No, but I wasn't aware. And then I found out my brother, who's 26, is a millennial.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, they start categorizing these people. I'm like, whoa.
I found
I was
that
like,
we
whoa.
weren't.
I was like, wait, what the hell? What? And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wait. So, and then in the book's talking about how in different generations, there may be a small gap of time of 2 to 3 years, but they're completely different. And I'm like, what?
Mindset, man.
You know?
Bro.
It's just wait,
Trust me,
it's where the rabbit hole
same
starts.
wavelength,
This is where the
bro.
rabbit
Yeah.
hole starts. And I read that book, and I'm like, what else can I read? You know?
And then he starts reading
You know what I'm saying?
everything,
And
bro.
I'm like, and then I read another book, and I was like, whoa. And that book recommended another book. I was like, I'm gonna read that book. And then this book, I'll tell you, because it's a very obvious
So the
book.
3 books, you get one.
You get one. You get one. You're
You
Sounds
getting
get
good,
one,
bro.
and we're
Yeah.
going to backtrack.
I got some things like that I feel the same way about. That I don't know if I'd ever. I have secrets about things that I've learned, and I'm like, I don't think I can share
You gotta
that with
keep the
everybody.
sauce, man.
Some
You
of
gotta
it,
keep
some
the
of it, bro.
sauce. You
Some of
gotta-
it gotta belong to you. Gotta belong right up here.
So now,
Okay, what's this book though?
So
What's
this book,
book?
this is
Promote it.
I will shamelessly plug this book. It was the Shoe Dog book from Nike.
Okay.
My cousin kept telling me. My cousin Zach kept telling me to read it.
Can I get it on Amazon?
You can. You can do an audible book too for it. But I would suggest actually reading it.
I gotta read it. Don't
right?
tell me I can listen to it because
So
I'll take the easy way out.
I read this book and it talks about the founder of Nike, how at 25 he had nothing going on. And I'm like, bro.
Story of Nike's crazy,
The
bro.
founder
It's
of Nike
ridiculous.
had nothing going on at 25. I'm like, at the time I didn't turn 24 yet, so I'm like, I'm 23. I'm like, I feel so much better.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it hits you like, oh. So now I read
Dude.
this book. And it talks about running and how running is. Yes, it talks about how running is important. Dude, all of a sudden I started running. I used to run a lot. Now I'm running every day. By the end of August, I ran like 150 miles.
That's amazing.
I was just running all the time. I would just think all the time. I was always, and dude, that's how the creative
Do you know how skinny
drive.
I'd be if I ran like that? Do we know? 'Cause cardio is not for me.
No, and it's funny too because I try and press it upon other people. I'm like, Taylor, you really should run with me. She's like, Kevin, no. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I'll be the one walking.
I had her running with me, and she like hated it, but she got into it eventually. I try to get my parents on it. They're like not about it. I try to get my friends on it. Be like, you should run too. Like, I noticed something though. You like want to tell other people about what you're doing or like what's going on, so it becomes a part of marketing. And all of a sudden, it's like local zone. Like you're telling your friends and you're telling them about the drops.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I'm like, why do I keep telling everybody that they should run? Why?
Why do I keep telling everyone they need to support local zones?
But that's what I'm saying. There's like, but there's a piece of it where it's like this thing where you're like keep telling everybody. And after a while, I'm like, yeah, I gotta shut up about this running thing. I think people just don't like running as much as I do. You know, like I just think
I'm alone with this running thing.
No, but but then, dude, it becomes your own secret piece of who you are and helps.
Does.
Running helps me think. It helps me get steam off. You should not smoke cigarettes. Okay, everybody. I was a big smoker for a while. You know how I stopped? I just ran. Whenever I was like, I really want to go smoke, I just ran. I ran.
I love it,
Juuling,
man. That's dope.
same thing. Everyone.
Fuck Juuls, bro. I fucking hate
Everybody
Juuls.
I don't
Juuls.
Juul.
I don't care
I don't
who you are or where you're watching this. At one point, you took a rip of a Juul. And funny enough, I was at the launch party of that thing in New York City when it first came out. I'll never forget
You were
that.
there?
My mentor was like, "This is gonna ruin your generation." I was like, "Why?" He goes, "It plugs into a USB port." I was like, "Damn, I never thought of it like that."
Have you ever? I don't know if you realize. I don't know if you're still in school when Juuls were
No,
hot.
I was there. No, they're saying you don't understand. Wait, I'm gonna blow your mind. I came back with it. Okay, after the launch party, everyone's like, "What is that? Flash drive?" I'm like, "Nah, man, it's nicotine." They're like, pfft. So now I'm like, people are like, holy, they would float. All right, summer goes by.
You couldn't get a damn Juul anyway.
I threw the Juul in like my glove compartment because I was like, I'm not, whatever. Come back to school. Everybody's got one.
You said.
Everybody's got one.
Crazy.
Everybody's got something. Everyone has their name engraved on it. Everyone has their own flavor. And I was just like, yo, what? Like, what happened? And they're like, yeah, Kevin, remember when you brought that last year? That's crazy, bro. You're really in front of that. And I was like, in front of the epidemic of
The one of the worst things that have
nicotine.
happened ever for our generation.
Listen, I was a back row sitter in all my classes, but I'm smart. Okay, I'm not stupid. I'd sit. I like to observe. I'm a very big people watcher. Everybody knows this. So I'd sit in the back, the first chair, and I'd sit, and I'd see the subtle rips, and then you hear the click. First row, second row. There was at least 20 kids in the class charging their Juuls. The professor's like, "Oh, what is that?" And they'd be like, "Oh, it's just my flash drive."
Hey, dude, it's become like
My
a
flash
thing,
drive.
man.
That's the thing.
And now it's Puff Bar,
Yeah,
the disposable.
But that's the thing too. So like that's where the pandemic changed my life. Where all of a sudden I was like, yo, reading, running, eating correctly.
Party Kev,
think,
gone.
yo, he died. He really did
R.I.P.
die.
Party
And
Kev,
you know
bro.
what's crazy about that too is that I can't even really drink anymore. It's weird. Like I drink a beer and I'm like, ugh.
Dude, I know so many people like that. Man.
Oh shit!
No, I
some
drink
people like that.
I drink one martini. I'm wasted.
Yo.
And then all of a sudden the secrets start pouring out of me like how he did this or like how I thought of that. And I'm like, oh my God, I
Gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yo.
Like Kev has to leave.
Like why this color sold so well. I was like, oh, it's because I saw it here. And then I'm like, well, what? What just happened? You know?
Wow.
That is crazy.
But it's crazy, very, very crazy that we made some like serious life choices of no drugs, no drinking, no nicotine. And it's hard to say that to a young kid right now when you're experimenting and like figuring out what life's all about and like what you're doing and what, I'm telling you, don't fall down that rabbit hole. Walk away from it. And if you really want to drink, moderation's cool.
I drink in moderation.
Moderation's cool. If you want
Moderation's
to mix in waters and stuff, like, wow, I sound so old, but like PSA, man, like just think about it a little bit more.
Listen,
Just think about it a little bit more because you could all of a sudden I was forced into a situation where I was alone with the same people
man.
and my thoughts. And thank God I love my family and I love my girlfriend and I love myself. And then all of a sudden, all this time alone, dude, there were no more distractions. There was no more, hey, let's go out. Hey, let's go here. Hey, what are you doing now? Hey, let's do this. Let's go there. Dude, financially too. Same thing. You don't have to go to the bar and spend $400 or $500.
You don't. No.
Okay? Then also, this is also a crazy thing too that people don't know. I really don't watch or care about sports. I love the Islanders though. Let's go, baby!
I love the Islanders too. I love the Islanders too. Man, you don't watch sports.
We rep the Islanders. Of course, I love hockey. Even though Taylor's the biggest Rangers fan I ever met, and she took my first Ranger game, and like she told me to shut up and be like, "Don't you dare say anything like that." I'm like, "Let's go, Islanders!" But besides that, a lot of the sports I don't particularly watch. So now, how else in this time period where there's nothing else going on?
Yeah.
Bro, there was literally nothing else going on. All I had was to think. And then when you just think,
it changes, man. It changes your life, bro.
Crazy.
Dude, it took me, I'll tell you, like when I started, I didn't smoke weed for the longest time, bro. I didn't want to smoke. I never liked it. I always thought it was like just something I just was never into. I do. But I remember when I started smoking the first time, I have been moving. I started my company, like I said, when I was 16. So I got my first physical location when I was 18 at a 10,000 square foot theater. As a business person, you know that having a physical space is way too much, and it's tough.
And it's a lot.
It's tough to manage. So
it's responsibility
dude,
too.
When I started smoking, it was the first time because I tried to grow up so fucking fast. Where I didn't drink a sip of alcohol until I was about 20. I'm not kidding. I'd have maybe like a little sip of a beer and be like,
I'm not judging you.
I remember I smoked the first time and it changed my perspective because what I did was I was giving myself the chance to breathe and to just sit back. And like smoking's not for everybody either.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
it's
what I
the
mean?
same thing.
It's just like it took me that moment.
Thing.
It gave me that moment. It gave me that moment to just be like, yo, you have to sit and think to grow, because the only way to grow as not even just in business, the only way to grow as a human being is when you let yourself think and when you let change and you let life just kind of come into you, and just think about it. But it's crazy. Dezz is giving me that look. But yo,
I'm not giving you any sort of look. It's just my face.
Dezz is like this. She give me a look. But okay, so we're nearing the end. It is we've been talking for quite some time. This camera started shutting off a little bit while ago. I got an iPhone recording over there now.
Hey, phone.
Dave's still going over there, so we good.
Thank God.
But yo, thank you so much for taking the time, bro. And like, dude, just spitting these facts, man. Like all this knowledge, bro. It's extremely important, and I think
we needed to hear it.
A lot of our listeners really need to hear it too, man. Thank you. Is there anything else that you want to say to anybody out there, and any of the supporters of Locals Only, because they're gonna be listening to this?
I mean,
man.
I'm eternally forever grateful for where we're at and where we're going. And trust me, where we're going is gonna be one hell of a ride, because I'm doing things that I thought I'd never be able to achieve or do. And if it wasn't for our followers, our customers, our listeners, our share, anything, it wouldn't be possible. I only drive off of fuel from other people being like, you can do it, or I want to see that, or I want it to be bigger. That's why I'm doing it. It's not about me. It's not about making money. It's about you, the person that's listening to even this right now.
Hell yeah.
It's about you. It's about you guys too, taking the chance to let me come on here and spit out some of this factual information that, yes, it's all pretty much true. You could fact check me all you want. But I mean, it's just.
No,
I just bought a book. I don't even read, so it should be here in 2 days.
Dude, we appreciate it, man. And like, dude, I'm excited to see the growth of Locals Only, man. I really. This shit's already taking over, bro. It's about to go even crazier, man. This is just the beginning too. I know that for you.
And that's the thing too, is that it is just the beginning. And I have someone right now on my team that like has been talking to me, like whispering in my ear. He's like, "Why can't you do shoes? Why can't you do shoes?" He's like,
I'm about to push you off this chair. I'm about to push you off this chair.
He's saying, why can't you? He's like, give me 10 reasons why you can't. And I was
I'm about
like,
to push you off this chair.
You know, but this is what I'm saying. Like, this is
I'm
where.
so excited.
Imagine, like, it will start small, it'll be something small.
Locals only vans.
But this is what I'm saying to you. And then from there, and then
Grow.
I say to him too, like this, like jacket, like I love this jacket that we have here, and you can't see it. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is. You have to, you gotta just be so upset.
We got
but
to
another
see
thing
it.
too, for like the future of stuff, I was gonna bring it down just to show you guys. You could see it. Maybe I'll pull it after this. I have another winter jacket.
Is it a puffer coat?
I didn't say it was.
Yo, dude, you guys are hearing it here first, man. Tea Time with Dezz exclusive right here. New stuff coming out soon.
That is how big we're thinking. And I don't care if I sell one. I don't care if I sell 20. I don't care if we sell none. I'm making it because it is cool. It is
I love
sick.
it, bro.
I'm in the market for it.
Yeah, I'm saying, but this is what I was trying to say to you before is that, yo, come and compete. Come and do whatever you have to do. I want to see you like drive for local business. I want to see people go.
Yeah, man.
But you better bring your A game.
Dude.
You better bring it everything you got.
You're bringing it, bro.
Yo, that's how we roll, man. Like we are bringing everything. I'm bringing all my creative juices.
Man.
Like I will take a week off when it's January, but right now we are 100% going in this direction.
Bro. Killing it, man.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the future for you guys and anybody who's still listening and still watching over there. Just know that there's going to be some hopefully some more things that we're teaming up on. We'll see what we do, but you got to follow us at Tea Time with Dezz on all social media platforms. You can follow us on TikTok at TikTok with Dezz, and make sure you follow Locals Only. Where can they find Locals Only?
You can find Locals Only anywhere and everywhere at Locals Only LI. It's all the same on all platforms, all the same. TikTok, Instagram. We have a Snapchat. Oh yeah, that's right. Go follow Snapchat. We have
Dezz adding that Snap
Facebook
right
too.
No, I'm not.
Facebook too, if you want that, and then everything else. I mean, that's it. And if you want to sign up for the emails and stuff, go on the website, sign up for that, and
that's localsonlyli.com.
Yeah, anytime you want, shoot me a DM. Anytime you want, shoot me a text number. Shoot me a text. The number is it's in the bio. It's me. It's not a computer. It's me.
Bro, I love this man right here, bro. Keeping it local, bro. I love
welcome.
it. Locals Only
You're
LI.
welcome.
Thank you, Dezz, for bringing
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to Dezz.
Yeah, thank you, Dezz. And thank you again to the Sound Cellar. Thank you very much to Dave and the entire team, Cliff, Peter, everybody here at the Sound Cellar for having us here. Please take a look on our page. We got a lot of great things, including our fundraiser that we're working on with Meals on Us, where we're hoping to help feed the homeless and the hungry and anyone in need in Uptown Manhattan. Please take a look on our bio.
I'm not saying this again.
Yeah, no, she's not gonna say it again.
I'm really done with the open threads.
Y'all better support
Please,
us. Support
guys.
Meals on Us. All right, that's it, guys. We're done. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to everybody. How you like to say goodbye, Dezz?
Like in my hello everybody.
Yeah, go ahead. Give him a little song.
Hello.
Kev, you can hop in on this too. So we just do a little freestyle when we leave. All right, here we go.
Hello everybody. We're leaving today. Everyone say goodbye to Kev because this is Locals Only.
Hey, I wasn't gonna interrupt that. That was beautiful. I was like, yo, don't believe that.
Thank you guys so much for
love
watching. We love you guys.
you.
Take care, guys.
See you later. Thank you.